saw Lila on a Facebook video and she had such passion for the earth. So she took old glass jars and she's repurposing them to make new lanterns so the neighborhood could light up their streets on April 22nd.
I'm 9 years old and I'm from Toronto.
And what is Lila's Earth Day?
So what I'm doing is on April 22nd, 8:30, right after sunset, you're gonna make a lantern a bit before time, and you can decorate it however you want, and then you put it outside for everyone to see, just to show that we're still there for each other and we're there for the earth too, even when we're stuck in our homes.
Can you show me some of your favorite lanterns that you've made?
So my favorite ones are these three, and I'm gonna talk about this one first. This one, I made it with my class, and we all got to make it, so that was a fun thing we did. And what I did is I added an extra decoration. I was looking through my drawer, and once I made this fabric heart, so I put that on there, and then I wrote poems about the earth. I'll read a few. Flowers blooming are like hope at its finest. The smoke that comes from a car is Mother Nature's cough. And the snow melting over litters like tears of the earth. This lantern is like medicine for the earth. Trees putting oxygen into the air. It like a Pez dispenser pushing out yummy candies. And so that's what I did for this lantern. And next, I made this lantern. I heard that something bad about the coronavirus was happening in New Orleans, so I got these beads from New Orleans, and I put them on like as the flower petals. And before I did that, I had a big blue coat of paint, and then I put the stem, and I made this, and I put a little bud, and it's a flower. And then I made this one to look like the earth, because this is for Earth Day, so I'm making this one to look exactly like the project that I'm doing. So what I did is painted it blue, and then I wrapped the string around it so that it would look like the blue was the water and the string was green so that it would be the land. And then I didn't think that was enough land, so I added some beads, more decoration, and then I got my hands all painty because I was doing another lantern. I was doing this one, and so I used my fingerprints on the back.
Why is it important for everyone to stay home right now?
It's important because it'll stop this virus from spreading, and it'll make us all happier, and it's better for the earth too.
Now I'm going to show you how to make your own lanterns from old used jars. Cheers! I have a ton of these glass jars hanging around my home. The first step is to take off the label. Soak your jar in some warm water and dish soap. It's going to take a lot of effort, and you can use other products like rubbing alcohol and Goo Gone to take off your label. Next step, take some rubbing alcohol and clean the outer edges of your glass jar. This prepares it for the next step. So you will need a few colors of your favorite acrylic paints. This is the type of glue I have on hand. It's the glow-in-the-dark Elmer's glue, but you can use regular Elmer's glue to seal in your paint. You'll need a couple paintbrushes to paint on your jar. So I'm reusing this styrofoam palette that I've had in my room for a while, and I'm just squeezing out some paints, and this will be my paint palette. Now here comes the fun part. Grab one of your colors and brush it all over the jar. Repeat this step with every single color. I love it, it's looking so pretty already. Now just let this layer dry, and when you come back, add a second layer. Now that your paint is dry, we're going to seal in your artwork. Grab some of your Elmer's glow-in-the-dark glue and paint in thin layers. This may require many layers. Another option, if you don't have Elmer's glue on hand, you can also use matte varnish or a polyurethane, but that may take longer to dry. So I have this adorable watermelon barrette that I'm using as an inspiration for my next recycle jar. I don't want to waste any paint, so I'm using the same palette as I did before, and I'm just adding some Anita's brand acrylic paint. I'm adding the first layer of the watermelon, which is a dark green, and I'll paint about an inch of it from the bottom of the jar. The second layer is the light green, so I'll paint a thin line about 1 centimeter thick. I'll add a thin layer of white, which is the rind of the watermelon. Then I'll paint the rest of the jar pink. This will require more than one layer. This might take an hour to dry, but if you're impatient like me, just use a hairdryer. Now grab your black Sharpie, we're going to create the watermelon seeds. Draw little raindrop shapes and fill it in. Ta-da! Here is your adorable jar where you can put your paintbrushes, your pens, your pencils, whatever you want. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Make Something Every Day, where we took old jars and repurposed them to give them new life.
See you on April 22nd. Help me light up the night. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, Lila. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. See you next time.